Hello, everyone, and welcome back to RevOps Chronicle Podcast Series 4. Today, I have Ramesh with me, and he's founder of Highperformer. Welcome, Ramesh, to RevOps Chronicle Podcast. And what was the idea to build Highperformer, Ramesh, and why Highperformer is very important?
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Rajesh, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here on your show, RevOps Chronicles. Pretty inspiring that you get to do this over the weekend, and it's been great meeting you and your team at Amagi. All the great things that you guys are doing. So many congratulations on that.
Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure, like I said, Rajesh, to be here on your show. Uh, and to your question, right, about high performer. Highperformer was started about 18 months back, 18 to 19 months back. Both my co-founder Srivatsan and I, we were at Freshworks
Mm-hmm.
for a good amount of time. Srivatsan had built the uh, CRM ground up, right from zero till where it is right now, and I was taking care of the inbound to do everything inbound marketing for the entire, like it was CRM support and service verticals. So
Mm-hmm.
what happened there was the story as to how we started it is the company went at Freshworks. The company went IPO in 2021. We were all on a high, Indian company going. It was a phenomenal journey for all of us. 22 happened, and then 23 we were like, hey, what do we do next? This journey is exciting. I mean, do we here be there to go and celebrate the next 500 or $1 billion, or having taken those learnings, should we try and build something on our own? So she and I had this conversation, and that's how Highperformer was built. But it was built with a dream, right? Of course, you want to build $100 million dream. That's every founder's go-to, but there has to be a hook to what we do, right? Sri came from a CRM background. I came from a
Mm-hmm.
very reasonably good understanding of market, because I was at even Google before that. The market, as we saw,
Mm-hmm.
has was changing, right? 2023, 2022, almost, that there was this AI wave that got GPT. November 2022 is when everyone was like, "Wow, what is this GPT?" And we knew something big was happening, right? Yeah, can you believe it that in Google AdWords, GPT just shot up as compared to what AI was doing? Like AI was growing in the last 15 years, slow, it had a trajectory. But the moment you search for GPT, it just took off, right? But we knew something was happening out there, and we said, hey, how can we put this to use in to help sales and marketing? Because that's a
Mm-hmm.
sweet spot. So the founder market fit was already there when we started. The whole idea was marketing was getting expensive, right?
Too much.
And you already are, if you're an enterprise, you have about 300,000, 400,000 contacts already in there in your CRM. uh, and on top of that, sales teams wanted more leads. Hey, give me more. They're hungry for leads. um, so the pressure is mounting on the CMO of to build pipeline, right? Uh, the resources are coming down. You do not have the budget of what you had the last year. Your productivity is coming down as well because you're adding more seats in from an SDR perspective. So they're learning now. So, but and there is also this wave of AI that's coming in. So we just thought, how can we take this problem and try and
Mm-hmm.
see if we can make something out of it? And we started with social. So where we said, hey, social is where people are meeting,
Mm-hmm.
like in a virtual world. Like you've done that very well, Rajesh. You've got in RevOps Chronicles in there, where you're trying to build a community of your own, and you're having interactions, you're putting up content relating to RevOps. You're a RevOps professional yourself, and that's exactly what we wanted to leverage to see who you wanted to go behind RevOps, but I never knew who the person is. So I get to know of that person in Amagi for RevOps is Rajesh Bharti. That's extremely useful information. Now I can go back to my CRM and check if I already have Rajesh Bharti. Now, how does it make it useful for a sales and marketing professional. Sales needs to call Rajesh Bharti and they need to understand, hey, what's your latest? How can he talk to you about RevOps Chronicles? That would make a conversation starter. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
would they know that you moved from some other company to Amagi? That's another point. How else would you know this? And social kind of just got us the company data and we just plugged it. And then sales become a lot more productive. You're having more conversations. Overlay that with signals, which will help you prioritize Rajesh over other RevOps people because there is some activity happening in their world. How would you know that otherwise? Rather than just calling 100 people and figuring out by way of luck, hey, these are 10 people out of the 100 who are having some kind of an activity right now who you can call, right? And that is the AI part of it that gets layered on top of people information to make sense for the salespeople. And imagine if Amagi is going to go, let's say, IPO. So there is a company information, you have the people information, and you have AI bringing all of that together to help the sales guy have a better quality of conversation and to probably even prioritize you to call you over the others as well. Now you see how the whole things are coming together, right? So that's what we wanted to do, and God's grace so far that we've been uh, we've had a reasonably good start, I would say.
That's good to hear that. But I love the way you put me into your story and just explain the whole logic that your dream, high performer, and putting me over there. Never heard about that. Somebody putting me in that story and just narrating in such a nice way. That thanks for that.
Oh, thank you. No, I mean that's exactly what I did when I reached over.
Okay, but when we talk about social, there are so many things are social available outside. Is anything very specific social we are talking about that which you guys are targeting? And if that, like, if it's a social, then there's tons of information is passing through social. How you filter out that social information first, and how it will useful and insightful. Can you just put some light on that?
Yeah. So under the hood, right? LinkedIn is where we have the people information. So
Mm-hmm.
that's social in it by nature already. We started off with Twitter back in the day in 2023, but Twitter, what we hit a roadblock when we realized that we are unable to de-anonymize the person. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
because if you were called RevOps Chronicles there in Twitter, I wouldn't know that it corroborates to Rajesh Bharti, right? It becomes a little difficult
Mm-hmm.
for me. However, we could help you publish more and all of that on Twitter. And so we realized that Twitter is great for conversations, but if I have to de-anonymize the person and unlock that, it is LinkedIn. So under the hood, we currently have Twitter and LinkedIn uh,
Mm-hmm.
data. We have data for more than 250 million people data and 20 million companies data that we have. And then we overlay any kind of questions that pertains your business to see if this person or the company makes sense for you. Uh, right? Let me kind of explain that for you.
Yep.
You want to target, let's say you're building an account book. Uh, so the company information is what we get from the entire web. So if it's a public company, let's say you're going
That's
after
easy
rent.
to get that. Like there are so many tools which can give you
Exactly.
that
So we
company
exactly
information.
we aggregate it in you can bring in your sources, and so we aggregate there. And we also know if you define your ICP, we will be able to get you. We will be able to multi-thread the 5 or 3 people above, 2 people below, and get the people information of that as well. So all of that social really helps us build this account book for you, the people behind, and social is just an overlay on top of that, right? The core is, hey, who do I go and target?
That's
The
the
social
important
aspect,
part.
comes in to have a conversation, right? That's very important. And Google gives you the news for any kind of, let's say, I want to go behind funded companies. I'm able to get the Google News inside feed in as well, and
Mm-hmm.
so the news, so which is the PR, and then the company on top of below that, and then you have the people. So we literally drag it down to the bottom of the funnel and tell you these are the leads, these are the people, this is what they're doing right now, this is what they're talking right now. So go ahead, prioritize these accounts over others for you.
So if we say about that, like if you're getting a feed specifically, because I'll talk more about the LinkedIn because I live in LinkedIn in and out in my professional life as well as my personal life.
Yeah,
So if I say about the LinkedIn, so you can go ahead and check that who I'm interacting on a day to
yeah,
day. And you can on because that interaction will be too huge. You will just get the crust based on my interest or based on my ICP and hand over to me. Is it correct?
that's absolutely right. So we get to know Rajesh Bharti. Okay, now I want to follow him, but I'm not interested when he's talking about his morning walks. It's
Mm-hmm.
fine. Because that's his daily routine. It's let him do with it. But if he's talking something to do with RevOps or building an account book or something like that, you have the ability to say, these are my keywords that pertain to my business. And if you find these keywords anywhere that Rajesh is talking or any of his people or the people commenting are talking about, we are able to
Mm-hmm.
extract that again. Now, it's making it more contextual for the sales and marketing person as to why Rajesh is a good lead that the sales guy should go after.
Got it.
Because that's a
So,
problem, right, Rajesh? Every time you generate leads in marketing, you pass it on to sales with some kind of filter, which the company sales and marketing have agreed upon, but the sales still comes back to you and says he's not a good lead.
that's the like actual problem. Like some of them genuine
Exactly.
question, they say that it's a not a lead, or some of that for just seeking to move
Right.
on. So it's a difficult
Exactly.
problem.
So the marketing guy goes back and says, hey, you gave me this qualification criteria, which is should be from a SaaS business. Yes.
Hmm.
Second is should be from RevOps, right? And while these two could be good, the salesperson still says a bad lead because you either move jobs,
Hmm.
which the sales guy doesn't know, you're probably on a break, which the sales guys will never know, or you're never reachable.
That's amazing.
Right? So you have a qualified lead from a marketing perspective, but it doesn't get, and then you're wasted dollars. Because what's happening is you find Rajesh Bharti and you tell any algorithms over there to say, get me more people like Rajesh.
Hmm.
But you don't know if Rajesh himself is the right person as of now. Because if you
Hmm.
take a past database, Rajesh could not be in the company anymore. Rajesh is not accessible. You don't know what's the deal going on there. And that's why this social information layer on top makes a lot more easier for you. The context is better for the sales guy. Thank you so much for having me. Wish you all the very best and have a great rest of the Saturday. See you, man.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.